everyone, it's Brett with the Braids by Braid Academy, and today I have a really cool free tutorial for you on how to braid a paracord belt just like in the picture before. So if it's something that you want to make sure to like and subscribe the channel and get ready to follow along with me. So here's a quick look at the final outcome of the belt. This is like a 2T toddler size. So yours is going to be whatever size you want it to be, but just thought I'd show you that. So let's get into it now. So first things first, you can pick your two colors. I'm going to go with neon green and black, and you can cut 5 strands of each. And then what you're going to want to do is gut each strand. So that just means to pull out the inner strands, these white ones, and pull them out just so we're left with the cover. So just like that. Once you've done that with all your strands, you can take one black and one green in my case. Yours might be different colors. And I'm just going to melt them together. So I just have a lighter here and heat the ends. So you can see that they're melting, and then I just smush them together. Hold it still. And then if you have a spoon, you could smush it with a spoon. Or what I do is I just lick my thumb and my finger so I don't get burned, and smush it together so that I know it's secure. Don't worry, you can sanitize it down the road if you need, if you're sending it out to a customer, but yeah, if you're by a table, you can just grab a spoon, smush it down, make sure everything is combined really good, and do that with each of them. And then I like to go back, and the ends, so they don't fray, I just seal the ends, so I just go with the lighter again. And just seal them. So you can do that with the 5 pairs, and then we can get started. So first step, just tie a little piece of scrap paracord onto the chair, and we're going to loop through our first strand till we get to the center point. Then we're going to grab the second strand. Actually, I'm a little bit ahead of myself. We're going to cross over. We'll go the green to the right, so cross over just like that and kind of hold it. And keep in mind that we want all the black strands on the left and all the green strands on the right. So we're going to take our second strand and go from the bottom over top till we get to the center. Grab the next strand. And this one, we're going to go over top and down the center. Before we went from the bottom, we went underneath. This one, we're going to go over top. So we're going to push it over top and then underneath. You can see how it's under, over. We're going to grab the next strand that we have. Following that same pattern, we're going to go underneath, up the center, over the other side, and try and keep everything in place with the other hand, the other free hand. And I'll find the last strand, and I'm going to go over top and underneath the other side. There we go. You can see that we've got that over, under, over pattern. So now we just want to gently tighten up that first strand. Just like this. Get everything in the middle while keeping its form, and then we can start into the weave itself. I'm going to start on the left hand side. and take the top strand. I'm going to bring it over, under, over, under, and let it sit on the right hand side now. And still holding everything together, I'm going to go to the right hand side. I'm going to take the top strand and go under, so I kind of roll it under. Roll it under. I'm going to go over, under, over, under, and get it to the left side. Continuing on, we'll take that black piece and go over, under, over, under, and let it lay on the right hand side now. Right hand side, top strand's going to go under, over, under, over, under, and lay on the left side. And I'm just going to move everything up so I get more towards the tip there. So I'm going to find that strand and just kind of slowly tighten it. Find the black one, snug it up. Because then at the end I can just take this piece of paracord off the chair, pull it out. So I'm just going to get everything snugged up the way I want and looking the way I want before I carry on. All right, back to the left side, over, under, over, under. Right side, under, over, under, over, under. And we just continue with this pattern throughout. And you're going to start to see that checkerboard form pretty soon. So under, over, under, over, under. Tighten it up. Over, under, over, under. If anything, I could probably move this piece a bit so it's not, you can't see where I've melted it together, and kind of hide it. I might do that off camera, we'll see. Under, over, under, over, under. You can see all the greens on the one side, all the blacks on the other, and then it's going to switch. We'll start to take the green to the right side. Like I said, then you can see that checkerboard pattern coming out, which is really cool. And just take a little bit extra time when you're folding that outside piece. Just fold it the same way, nice and neat every time. So I'm going to continue on with that till we get to the bottom, and then I'll show you how to attach it onto your belt buckle. Alright, I've taken my belt off the chair, I've braided out the desired length, and plus the extra, whatever it told us in the PDF, probably about 3 inches or so. And now we're going to attach it onto this buckle. So I'm just going to measure out about 3 inches, and at that point I'm going to push this pin up through it. So lift the belt over top, grab the pin of your buckle, try and find the center, and push that pin through. And then you can gently kind of push the rest down through the buckle and grab it out the bottom. Try not to lose the braid in the meantime. So we're going to flip it over. It's going to look like that. And I'm only going to want about probably 1.5 inches from the top of that braid to where I'm going to start to back braid. So about there, so I might be able to unbraid it a little bit. If you start your back braid too far down, then at the end it's going to have an open gap up here. So you don't want to start it too far down, but you don't want to start it too high up either. Like I said, I think about 1.5 inches or 2 inches maybe. We'll try 2 inches. Make sure that we have 5 strands on each side. 5. And where it crosses at the bottom, that's going to be our starting point right there. And we're going to start with the top piece. So you can kind of get those other ones out of the way. And we're going to look underneath and we're going to try and find the raised ones. Any raised ones. And we're going to go underneath the raised ones, grab our working strand here and gently pull it through. I'm going to start right here on this one. See, that's a raised one, so gently go underneath, grab that working strand, pull it through. And then find the next one right there. Next raised one, go underneath and grab that strand again. Gently pull it through. So that's one strand done. Now we're going to alternate sides and go over here to the black piece. So I'm going to go under that one. I'm just trying to find another one that maybe I could get underneath. If I could try and go underneath that one, or if it's going to scrunch it up too much. Well, we'll just try this one here. Sometimes you can get 2 to go underneath, sometimes it's just 1. You can decide whether you want to work them all to the outside edge. Sorry about that. Work them all to the outside edge, or if you want to burn them off more in the middle. I like to burn them off more in the middle. Okay, next. Alternating sides again. Going back to the next closest green one. So we're going to go underneath. Going over back to this black strand. You can see how it goes over the green piece. That's what we want. It keeps everything secure. And then we can find the strand for it to go underneath. Kind of gently adjust everything as you go along. And the whole point is to get all of these strands kind of worked in, back braided in, so we just keep alternating sides. Until we're finished. Yours might not look perfect off the start, lots of times mine doesn't either. But as long as you're getting them worked in, it should be secure. Alternating back to this side. I'm going to try and sneak it back a little bit farther. See what it looks like. If it doesn't work, I can always take it out. We can tighten them as we go. Oops. And we can be tightening them as we go. Taking out any of the slack. So this one we're going to try and get back a little bit too. So we just have one on the left and one on the right. So this one on the left, I might have to go out the side and I might bring it back up. Unless I can get it farther back. Got one more left and we are done. And then you can kind of adjust and get it leveled out. But that's what mine looks like. Like I said, if you want to tighten the side, you can go ahead and do that. Try and get it nice and smooth. And then the last step will just be to burn and melt these ends off. Alright, we're at the final stage here, and we just need to melt off the excess pieces here. So I've got my hot wood burning pen. Hopefully it's hot. I'll just do a tester. Yeah, it looks like it's hot, and I'm just going to clean it off a little bit. Just get rid of the gunk that's been built up. Alright. So making sure that you don't burn through anything else. I think some videos just cut them off and kind of melt it with a lighter. You can choose to do that, but I find this a little bit more secure. So I just like to... You don't want to melt through the next strand, you just want to melt this one on top of it. And you do that with all of them. And just be very careful when you're doing it. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. So just keep doing that until all your strands have been melted off. I kind of like to fold them over so that there's some extra to melt onto the strand below. So just be careful not to burn yourself and not to burn through, because that would be a sad day if you burnt through your belt, all the hard work. I'm looking at this one and it looks like I probably could have come under that one, but I should be okay. Last two. So that's that. And then I just go with just a lighter or a barbecue lighter, melt it, and then if you had a spoon, or like I said, I use my thumb, if I just lick my thumb and push down. But a spoon would work just fine, so just go back and melt everything. You don't want any rough edges. I know this is tiny, it's for my son, so don't judge on that, but there you go.